week 3. Not really about the outside plants, but the radishes are trying to grow, but something keeps eating all the damn flowers. Anyways, it's sprinkling today, raining. Already been out, but anyways, plastic to keep some warmth in there. And yes, I'm purposely spinning the camera as I open the thing. So anyways, so we got some jalapeno going on. Again, this is only 3 weeks, thumb size, and there's some flowers. It's not really growing up, but doing pretty good. I haven't trimmed this much. As you can see, there's a few dozen bell peppers on there. Needs to be trimmed. Yeah, that's just too many to support. I mean, that's only about a foot and a quarter. That's the big Bertha peppers. So that is algae from the buckets are leaking a tiny bit. So the nutrient, once it hits the sun, it grows algae. So that's just going to be one of the things I have to deal with. So anyways, that was the big Bertha pepper. So they're kind of not really long and lean, but they're longer, not your traditional short fat bell peppers. That would be these over here. You can see one hanging out there. Here's one here, about thumb size already. Again, it's only been 3 weeks since these plants have been getting hit with a nutrient. These are all three buckets are left over from last year's peppers. So that's why you see the big stakes or trunks or whatever you want to call them, branches. So those are pretty much died off from when they were trimmed, and then everything else is growing. So lots of bell peppers starting here. This, as we discussed before, in case people think I'm crazy, it is the chocolate sprinkles cherry tomatoes. Got some flowers going on here. We've got more coming, and I've been trimming them pretty good. I was just on the phone with my mom. She said, "Oh, I like to see them bushy." Well, you know what? Bushy doesn't grow food. This jalapeno. This is one bought from the store. Again, everything here is 3 weeks or less. There's about a dozen buds on here as I'm looking more and more. And I just finished trimming the bottom, so trying to get about, I don't know, 8 inches or so from there. These are the red pears, and they apparently have pretty big blossoms. So that's the first one back in here. And then these other ones are just popping up. There's about a dozen of them that are coming. So, and more on the way. You can see all the buds. This is bitter melon. I've got to do some more vine management. This one I just kind of flopped over here. I need to give another clip so it grows up. And this one's the same. This one needs to get clipped onto this so it kind of goes up. Missing bucket, we'll talk about that in a little bit. That used to be the cucumber, which I'll show you at the very end because it's a monster now. Thai chili, I topped that one last week and it's growing nice and bushy. You can see where I topped it. I cut it there. I cut it in 3 spots. No buds yet, but give it a week. And it still needs to be trimmed at the bottom so you can actually see what's going on there. Grape tomato is growing well. It's leaning a little bit, but that's because, again, that's where I had to string it up. I guess I could put a bar going from this one to this one and maybe try to straighten it up, but it really, for the most part, doesn't matter, except for there's going to be another bucket over here. So maybe I should do that and try to move it, but plenty of flowers, and I already pollinated those. There's more coming. There's some starting, let's see, down in here, and then up in here. These were the first ones, and as I was looking earlier, I've already got 4 tomatoes, so you can three big ones. And there's a little midget one hanging out in there. So I've already got tomatoes coming out, and this is only 3 weeks. So you gotta figure that's about 3.5 feet tall, give or take. These are the leftovers from the ones that I started the seeds with. So there's an extra cucumber, which I probably won't plant. Fajita pepper, I transplanted that one back out. It was not growing. It didn't grow a damn, maybe 1/2 inch. And that one's stunted. And that's a black Krim heirloom. That was the extra one, and I'm waiting to see how these other ones do. These are, I did in paper towels and Ziploc bags. I just transplanted them to this rock wool stuff. So these have only been out here a day. So we'll see what survives, what doesn't. But I got 4 kinds of tomatoes, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I threw a couple seeds in the end just to see what happens. So there's a large cherry tomato. There's an Italian heirloom, a pink lady, or German pink, and something they call a Mexican midget. What was the 4th one? Oh, this one's actually, they're called Aurora peppers. So they start out like a deep purple and grow to red. So hopefully those do their thing. So that's how big that plant is this week. These were a little smaller. They're from the same batch, so that's a week's worth of growth. And I've already picked a few leaves off of that. So that's the black Krim. This one's a little bit smaller. It was a little runtier than that one, but it's still doing really well. And here's the one that I transplanted out. It was bigger than the other one, so I just did this yesterday, so we'll give it a week. And hopefully it'll take off from there. Here's, like I said, the other cucumber you just saw. It's the same batch, but this has been getting nutrient. So doing pretty good for 1 week. So this is about the size that the one that I bought at the store, which is to the left here. We'll see in a moment. So this, and in 3 weeks, will become this. That's about 3.5, 4 feet tall now. Not from the floor, but you know, I figure from the bucket up. So there's 3 cucumber plants in there. The leaves are monstrous. It's as big as my hand. So I can get far enough back out here. Some of the leaves are bigger, like the one under it. That's bigger than my hand. And there are cucumbers starting to blossom. Then I need to start doing some trimming. Basically, you should have 1 monster leaf, 1 cucumber, then some trunk, monster leaf, cucumber, trunk. So give another week so I can see the cucumbers come out, and then I'll do some more trimming. And then just trying to get them so they grow up instead of out. They're doing a pretty good job. This one I gotta get all these clipped in. So these plant clips, they clip onto the string. There's a little notch in the, when you clamp it, that grabs onto the string. And then you just leave it loose. So the plant's not tight, it just, I mean, this is pretty taut because I pulled it down pretty tight at the bottom. But none of this is, you know, squeezing the plant. This one's a little tight at the bottom. I probably need to loosen this one up. That's pulling it pretty tight. But anyways, that was a long video, 9.5 minutes, but so that's where we're at. That's 3 weeks worth of growth. That's 3 weeks worth of growth in basically all these plants. So some of them are doing a little better. Like this jalapeno plant, this one will take off as it's going, you know, growing a little bit. So other than that, just hopefully in, let's say 2 weeks, get to the rest of the buckets going, and then we'll get everything done. It is raining today. It hasn't flooded the tank, so yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So week 3.